G'day Trendz, hello and welcome to yet another exciting edition of Trendz Travel. I'm your host for today, Louise Scoble, and today we're coming to you from the Nyrock Sculpture Park in Krugersdorp. We'll tell you more about that a little bit later, but right now, let's see what we have for you on the lineup. Coming out of the month of love, we take a look at Valentine's Blues at the Nyrock Sculpture Park. We take to Australia, where the Chinese are learning all about the Australian wine market. We stop in Congo for a music festival and the vocal stylings of one of their own. And lastly, we take you to carnivals from around the world. This is the glorious rolling parkland that is the Nyrock Sculpture Park in the cradle of humankind. Within the sculpture park, a lawn amphitheatre seating about 1,000 people overlooks a two-tier lawn stage across a rippling brook.
We are at the Nyrock Sculpture Park in the cradle of humankind, a World Heritage Site just outside of Lanseria Airport. It's 20 hectares of manicured lawns and waterways and dams that feature a collection of contemporary outdoor sculpture. Apart from that, it also has an artist residency which hosts artists from all over the world to come here and just make work and promote the arts.
In the spirit of Valentine's Day, this beautiful venue came alive in a full-day affair, complete with a stellar lineup of acoustic musicians.
Today we're hosting one of our concerts. We have a music program with different genre concerts throughout the year, and today is the Valentine's Blues music concert. It's a celebration of love and the blues.
Valentine's Blues is the ideal setting for friends, families and lovers to enjoy a glorious array of sensory feasts. It is definitely a romantic chilled-out day of live music, gourmet food traders and restaurateurs, a full bar, a selection of sumptuous desserts and boutique wines.
This is the fourth Valentine's Blues concert. We've been pretty active, although we're a little under the radar, as is the whole area that is the cradle of humankind. It's only been designated as such by the UN, I think like 10 years ago, as a World Heritage Site, so it's got really big importance and significance, and it's like a 40-minute drive from Joburg or Pretoria, and you're out in the country, away from the lights, away from the billboards and intersections, and you're just in the lands.
Used to be so easy to give my heart away, but I found out the hard way.
Some of the finest names in South African acoustic blues are on the lineup, including Albert Frost, Dan Patlansky and Laurie Levine, as well as Nyrock's residency artist, The Urban Village, featuring the Afrocentric renditions of blues classics.
The idea behind the foundation is ostensibly to foster the arts and to grow the arts as a way of communicating and engaging and growing human consciousness. And the residency then brings artists from around the world and South African artists, and it just gives them the space to create, gives them the space to be out of the cities and away from distraction, put them back in nature. And because we're in such a special place as the cradle, it's no better spot to get to make your art here. And we host everything from sculptors, writers, painters, photographers, poets, musicians. It's arts across the board. So whenever we feel that the time and the opportunity is right and that we are the right platform for a particular artist or group of artists, we then invite them to the Nyrock's residency.
The park, with its rising and falling lawns, meandering waterways and ever-changing sculpture collection, makes it the perfect place to find your inner artist, fostering creative and technical change. But when it's not hosting an event, there are multiple permanent sculptures to muse at.
We have a permanent collection of works which just can't be moved because they've been integrated into the land. But then we also have rotating exhibitions. In particular, a big exhibition is the Winter Sculpture Exhibition, which this year we're collaborating with a sculpture park in Sweden called Vanas. And we're bringing artists and artworks from around the world, including Yoko Ono piece. Esther Maklangu just finished a mural here last week. Nandipa Mtambo, Mary Sibanda, Zanele Macaulay, they're all busy putting works together for our winter sculpture exhibition, which changes every year.
We took to exploring the foodie section of the park. Away from the music, there is other art-worthy goodies to peruse. For those who like to explore tastes, there is something for everyone, as people indulge in their favorites. For me, it was the wings and fries or the ribs and fries. It is truly a family event, with little ones enjoying the picnic setting and older kids being able to play on the sculptures. Couples canoodling while families and friends laze about, enjoying the music, the sun, and the opportunity to relax.
Love the event. I love that there's so many different people in the event. I love that there's so many different places that you can go to, because this is a huge park. So if you are here for the sculptures, you're here for the sculptures. If you're here for the art, you're here for the art. If you're just here to relax in a park with your family, there's that opportunity. And the food variety, so it's amazing. Good getaway from Joburg.
It was interesting, very interesting. It's my first time here and I liked it. It was great, it was uplifting.
The event was very nice. I enjoyed every aspect of it. The music is great. The weather was perfect. The park itself is absolutely beautiful. There's a lot of things to see, including the art and the sculptures. There's a variety of food and drinks. There's something for everyone. And it's just different. It's a break from the hustle and bustle of Joburg.
If you love blues music, beautiful venues, and are looking for something fun to do with your loved one or loved ones, then the annual Valentine's Blues is definitely for you.
In Tarot, the rose is considered a symbol of balance. Its beauty expresses love, new beginnings, and hope. Now, after working on a special breed of a rose symbolic to Madiba for nearly 17 years, South African rose growers produced this special rose now called the Mandela Rose.
It's a vibrant rose, and it really represents Madiba, and of course the rose is a symbol of love, and Madiba was a man who was loving. He wanted to turn war into peace, and he wanted to do all the things that really we need to do now.
There are so many breeds of roses, and they all come in different colors, signifying different meanings. A red rose is for love, a white rose signifies purity, whilst a yellow rose is for friendship. At a glance though, the Mandela Rose looks orange, when in fact it is a combination of colors, a mix of salmon and coral. The launch was graced by the presence of special people. And judging by Archbishop Tutu's moves, this Mandela Rose is definitely special. So, for lovers out there who might be thinking of surprising their loved ones with the Mandela Rose, you need to be quick. There are only 100 available in the country.
We do hope that you enjoyed it, but right now do take a short break and we'll be right back.
The Western Cape needs national government to fulfill its mandate on ensuring a bulk water supply.
We must ensure that the city of Cape Town never confronts this particular situation again.
The ESCOM is serious about stamping out corruption, which is why the market is now beginning to accommodate us.
Looking at neighboring countries, expecting Botswana just to see partly cloudy skies with a half 34 in Gaborone.
News today at 3 p.m. from Monday to Friday on SABC News.
It is one of the warmer sunny days here today, and as you can see, I'm wearing my hat because the heat is sweltering. But welcome back, and right now what we have for you is a lot of wine, and more wine. As the day breaks over the vineyards of Australia's Hunter Valley, it's the country's winemakers who are basking in the sun as their strategies to entice Chinese drinkers bear fruit. Methods like hiring Chinese consultants and juggling harvest time with trips to China to show up relationships with distributors are delivering extraordinary 63% sales growth to mainland China, according to figures from Wine Australia. Along with export to China, Vintner McGuigan Wines have embraced the concept of hiring Mandarin-speaking cellar door staff like Caitlin Chu, who lead Chinese wine enthusiasts through tasting and deliver recommendations for their particular tastes. As vineyards provide on-hand explanations to their Chinese customers, ultimately it's this kind of service that gives the taster the confidence to purchase the wine.
我觉得很多那个中国人来这里喝酒，是他的国家很少有可以喝很多酒啊。那个中国人喜欢喝那个冰酒的 style， 那个荔枝的味道，是他说他那个荔枝的味道非常很特别的应该没有喝过哪个酒有那个这个水果味道。还有那个我觉得那个干黄非常很出名的是很多那个老的中国人最喜欢买那个干黄的酒，所以可以发送很多也送给小孩子了。
Another strategy that both McGuigan and iconic Hunter Valley winemaker Peterson's wines have embraced is aesthetically pleasing packaging that helps make their wine more pleasing to the Chinese eye.
我對澳洲酒唔係好認識㗎，不過今次第一次嚟咧，嘗試咗都幾好，唔錯。
之前懂得不是很多，但是今天就是他那个服务员给我讲得很好，所以我对这方面有了很多的见解。
As a result of these strategies, the Hunter Valley is seeing increased Chinese tourist growth.
We use red wax for all of our premium red wines. And I think the red wax really, red and gold very much are the Chinese colours and what they like to see and what captures their imagination and captures their eye as well.
In the year that ended September 2017, the Hunter region welcomed more than 15,500 Chinese visitors. That figure is up 59% on 2016, almost 3 times more than the year that ended September 2012, according to the New South Wales Minister for Tourism and Major Events.
Yeah, look, the Asian market, the next 10 years, if you don't cater for it or be aware of it coming, you'll be left behind. It's going to dominate the features around, or the place around here now. Like I said, we have 600,000 Chinese come to Australia now. In 5 years, there'll be 6 million, 10-fold increase. And they're coming here, they like our culture, they like everything about Australia, the blue skies, which they're not used to in China. They like our food, our way of life, and there'll be more and more come.
Entertaining wine buyers such as Wang Ji from Ganju is the key to success, as well as the fact that Chinese visitors like the Australian way of life.
葡萄品种我比较喜欢希拉，然后我比较喜欢口感浓郁一点的、厚重一点的，然后有比较丰富的果香、有变化的酒。
Wang arrived at the Peterson Cellar Door 2 years ago for a tasting and now comes back every year to stock his collection of international wine that he shares with his family and friends.
I don't think we should view any single market as the saviour, because too much rides on that relationship then. What we try to do as a business is diversify our business. So we try and build a domestic market, a wholesale market, a direct-to-market retail market. Export forms an important part of that, but we want to diversify even within export markets so that we're not relying to any great extent on one market.
According to Wine Australia, volume of wine sold to mainland China also went up 54% in 2017, delivering 153 million litres of wine to China from Australian wine markets.
Festival, don't Tourism Department of the India's Western Maharashtra state organized a month-long wine festival to promote wine culture and highlight the health benefits of the low-alcoholic beverage. The event, which provides visitors to explore 72 varieties of wines and go on vineyard tours, began on Friday. This festival aimed to create awareness not only about the art of winemaking, but also its commercial potential as an industry, encouraging the farming community to grow more fruit trees, thereby realizing the full horticultural potential of the state.
फिर लोगों को वाइन का अवेयरनेस हम क्रिएट करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. वी आर गिविंग देम द फूड एंड वाइन एक्सपीरियंस. तो उनको हम अलग अलग विनियार्ड्स पे लेके जा रहे हैं. हम उनको पॉली हाउस दिखा रहे हैं.
The India wine industry has extended significantly over the years. Indians, comparative to other Western countries, barely consume wine. They prefer to have liquor which has a high percentage of alcohol. But changing habits of Indians in drinking have, among other things, changed fortunes of the wine industry in India.
फ्रेश एक्सपोर्ट के साथ प्रोसेस अलग अलग तरीके के प्रोडक्ट, जिसमें टमाटर प्रोसेस हो रहा है, फिर मैंगो हो रहा है, फिर ग्रेप जूस बन रहा है. ऐसे कम से कम 125 प्रोडक्ट्स अलग अलग हम लोग अभी आज बना रहे हैं.
India's eastern city of Kolkata became witness to an exquisite blend of science and tech-based designs of art with wine tasting. The Art and Wine Carnival 2018 highlighted the process of wine cultivation as a revered art form in itself. The event showcased 3D technology designs and offered an experience of wine tasting to its visitors. The idea was to create an unconventional vibe at the art exhibition that would lead the locals to appreciate the fine things in life, according to the organizers.
Art is something when artists draw and paint, they do it with a lot of passion. And when winemakers make wine, also it needs a lot of passion. And as I said a few minutes back also, wine is something which is always a fashion statement, a class apart from all other drinks. So I think wine always complements with art, and I think it's a very good platform to collaborate wine and art. I think we are going to do with more coming up in Calcutta.
The event also gave a tribute to the stalwarts in the field of technology, printing, and validates the work of newcomers in the field of art. Metal printing technology using stainless steel, animation, and augmented reality techniques also made for a good spectacle at the carnival. The event demonstrated valuable paintings from the rare collections of exquisite painters and artworks showing children with disabilities. The exhibition's collaboration with startup technologies emphasized the effect of technology on art.
I feel it is like a combination of two finer things in life. Art is a finer part of life. Wine is also a finer part of life. So two finer parts of life have come together to have this combination of art and wine, which is very good and effective. I think we should have it more and more.
About 700,000 London residents and tourists from across the world joined in the Grand Spring Festival celebrations held in the city's Trafalgar Square on the third day of the Chinese Lunar New Year.
Incredible, even so close up you can't see how we did it.
Superb. Okay. I was just, makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. Okay. He was so good.
Distinctive Chinese performances, including colorful lion and dragon dance routines and the mesmerizing face-changing sequences of Xuan opera, gave the sea of spectators a strong taste of the cultural traditions celebrated in China.
大家也都看到了，当地的这个气候、气温都比较低，但是尽管是这样，仍然有很多的这个各族裔的民众参与这种活动，说明呢，这个活动对大家的这个吸引力非常大。这个春节活动给大家带来的是一种美好的祝愿，美好的东西是世界各族裔都能够接受的。
The festivities on Trafalgar Square are believed to be the largest spring festival celebrations held outside of Asia.
Interested in different cultures and festivals, and I adore what's happening here.
We came because we love your country and we know that it's very famous Chinese New Year in London. So each year we try to come and to participate to the...
How do you feel today?
Fantastic. We wait more than 1 hour outside, but it's just fantastic and beautiful.
No. A paper Chinese dragon.
Do you like it?
Pour les baguettes porcelaine.
Yeah, how do you usually celebrate Chinese New Year? How do you celebrate it?
We decorate our house and we have a big meal out.
Aside from the fascinating Chinese performances on stage, many Chinese elements like Peking opera masks and various goods from the Spring Festival were also on sale at nearby stalls, attracting many enthusiastic visitors.
Trendz Travel will be right back after this short break. Don't go anywhere.
Technology is used for both positive and negative. Some governments block the internet in times of protest.
With this internet blackout, it's impossible for me to do it, so I have to travel to Douala.
This act is a true violation of the rights of citizens.
In Africa, people are always coming up with innovative ways to use technology to solve some of their problems.
The more interesting piece of technology is actually the artificial intelligence.
AI, it's utilizing data to make your life easier.
Our network will give you Africa's technology and social media news.
For all your technology news, join Sipumelele Zondi every Saturday at 17:30.
There's so much happening at Nairok Sculpture Park, but right now we take you to Nigeria and as well as Egypt, so stay tuned. In a neighborhood in Goma, the capital of Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo's North Kivu province, singer Ira Irene and her two brothers are rehearsing at home ahead of the performance at the annual Amani Festival. The fifth edition of the festival was held over the weekend and attracted thousands of music fans from across the Great Lakes region. Ira and her brothers were amongst 5 groups representing Goma. They said the festival was a rare opportunity for young artists to be seen and heard.
Le festival Amani pour moi aujourd'hui c'était une grande chose parce que je peux dire que c'est une grande porte qui est ouverte et c'est déjà un pas pour moi parce que Ça sera la première fois de prester sur un grand podium comme celle du Festival Amani.
According to organizers, the 3-day festival attracted over 30,000 people. Amani, which means peace in Swahili, was again the main message for the event. This year's theme was dancing for peace, singing for peace. Some of Congo's top artists like Ferregola, Jupiter and his band Okwezi headlined this year, along with artists from Burundi, Rwanda and Uganda, as well as a traditional troupe of dancers from Congo. Eastern Congo has been gripped by armed conflicts for more than 2 decades. Although the festival's main aim is to set a tone for reconciliation and promote peace in the region, many Goma residents were skeptical about how much the festival can achieve as the region continues to grapple with insecurity.
Moi, je trouve qu'il y a manque d'amour par les habitants aussi, manque de mauvaise volonté de certaines personnes qui ne veulent pas que la paix continue parce que peut-être il y a certaines personnes qui se retrouvent par rapport à l'insécurité de la ville, alors que nous avons besoin de voir une paix durable au Congo.
Hey. Sie huko amani haiyafika juu, wako na chinja watu wanaingia manyumba wanawaua, ndio maana.
Despite the current political crisis, Amani organizers say the festival can at least show a different side of Goma, one that offers peace.
An unusual impromptu street performance brought hundreds of Egyptians to downtown Cairo as folk artists serenaded the crowd in a pedestrian street. Hundreds of people attended a performance by Nubian folk music and traditional songs, sing along and dancing. The Biela Passage Nights festival has been named after a shopping street. For city residents and performers alike, the ambience of the street made the event very special. The artist leading the festival, Ntesa Abdel Fattah, has an ambitious plan to turn Biela Passage into a cultural hub by holding the festival every month.
عجبني في العرض ان هو في الشارع، ان هو في حميمية، الناس ماشية فبتلاقي مزيكا فبتخش، ما هيش حاجة ايفنت متنظم او ليه تذاكر او ليه، دي حالة معمولة لكل الناس، اي حد يقدر يخش ويشارك فيها وبيتفاعل معاها بشكل اكتر من انه يكون لابس ونازل من بيته ورايح حفلة. الشارع بتلاقي دفء بين الناس وبتلاقي حميميه كبيره قوي ما بتلاقيهاش على المسارح بتلاقي البدل وبيبيونات وشغل روتيني
اكتر منه استمتاع. هنا الناس بتلقائيتها بعفويتها بفطرتها بتيجي تتفاعل معاك لا اراديا، بتشوف فن. هي لو مش حابه الفن ده مش هتتفاعل عمرها.
النهارده في ممر بيرة بنلاقي شكل جميل جدا. كيف نستطيع ان احنا نعمل نوع من التزاوج ما بين هذا المعمار الفريد من نوعه في العالم وبين الفنون. فده الحقيقه اللي انا بحاول اعمله من خلال هذا المهرجان.
Adding to the ambience of the show, a colorful light show lit up the buildings overlooking the festival, which ran for a week.
فرقة المدرسة اللي هي الدرب الأحمر تقريبا كانت رائعة. أطفال مدربين كويس جدا 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 وعارفين شو بيعملوا وعارفين شو واقفين. وطبعا المطرب الشعبي الفقرة تبعته كانت حلوة. والنوبة طبعا وقفوا الدنيا.
A portrait of a Nigerian princess that was lost for more than 40 years has been found in a London flat and will be sold at an auction screened live in Lagos, allowing Nigerian art lovers to make bids directly from the West African megacity. Dudu, by Nigeria's best-known modern artist Ben Enwonwu, was painted in 1974 and appeared at an art show in Lagos the following year, but its whereabouts after that were unknown until it resurfaced in North London.
Well, as I said, painted just after the end of the Nigerian-Biafran conflict, she does symbol this moment of reconciliation and hope for the nation. I think the fact that she is also the most famous portrait by the nation's most famous artist is also incredibly significant, and the fact that she's been lost for all these years and finally discovered is truly an amazing thing.
It had come as a shock to find the painting hanging in a North London home where specialists were called to examine it.
I mean, here at Bonhams we receive an inquiry probably once a week, twice a week, saying, you know, we have tutu, we found tutu, come and value it for us, and it's always a print. And this painting was the same thing. We were thinking, okay, well, we have to investigate, you know, to make sure that we've done our due diligence. And we went to this modest North London flat, and we enter, and there really is tutu. It was an incredible moment, really historic for us. And the owners are a very modest family and had absolutely no idea of the value of the painting.
Because there had been several wild goose chases in the past in search of the originals, specialists had to verify.
And it was painted in Ife. Ben Enwonwu himself is Igbo from the east, and therefore of the secessionist group in Nigeria during the Civil War. So his presence in Ife, which is in the west of Nigeria, was kind of an artistic symbol of the first signs of reconciliation. The lady that is painted is the daughter of the last Oni of Ife. So an Igbo man painting a Yoruba girl in 1973, 1974 was a very important sign of reunification, of the coming together of a people.
The humble owners of the painting did not wish to be identified.
Because I think in the history of African art, this is the first time, to my knowledge, that a painting that has such a tremendous reputation in the minds and imagination of people has actually come to light. It's of the scale of an important archaeological discovery.
The portrait of Adetutu Ademilui, who was a granddaughter of a revered traditional ruler from the Yoruba ethnic group, holds special significance in Nigeria as a symbol of national reconciliation after the 1967 and 1970 Biafran War.
Okay, we have to talk about its cultural significance in Africa, and I go further than that, as to say its cultural significance for the art of our times. And I think one would have to locate that, first of all, in the fact of its own legend. I think people have begun to think of Tutu as being kind of, I hate to use comparisons like that because they're evidently unsatisfactory, but it's beginning to be thought of as kind of like the Mona Lisa of African art.
Nwanwu belonged to the Igbo ethnic group, the largest in the southeastern region of Nigeria, that had tried to secede under the name of Biafra. The Yoruba people, whose homeland is in the southwest, were mostly on the opposing side in the war. Nwanwu painted 3 versions of the portrait. The other 2 remain lost.
Time sure does fly when you're having fun, but right now we're going to take another break and I'm going to get something to drink. Well, summer is definitely the time for festivals and carnivals. So right now we're taking to carnivals from around the world, from Rio de Janeiro even to Germany. Enjoy. New Orleans kicked off its Mardi Gras celebrations a day early with bright costumes and fireworks. Crowds gathered for a day of parades through the city, which included Mayor Mitch Landrieu and members of the New Orleans Saints football team. Since 1872, locals have been celebrating Mardi Gras, or Fat Monday. In keeping with tradition, revelers representing characters such as Rex, the king of the carnival, and Zulu King come together to receive a key to the city from the mayor. King of Carnival Rex then announces that schools and local government will be closed for Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras, or Fat Tuesday, is the final day of the carnival, devoted to unfettered frivolity and partying in the final hours before Ash Wednesday, which begins the Lenten season of sacrifice in the Catholic Church. The view from onboard Mardi Gras parade float sees thousands of revelers line the streets of New Orleans to celebrate the end of the carnival season. The origins of Mardi Gras can be traced to medieval Europe, passing through Rome and Venice in the 17th and 18th centuries to the French house of the Bourbons. From here, the traditional revelry of bœuf gras, or fatted calf, followed France to her colonies. New Orleans was established in 1718 by Bienville. By the 1730s, Mardi Gras was celebrated openly in New Orleans, but not with parades as we know today. In the early 1740s, Louisiana Governor the Marquis de la Vaudreuil established elegant society balls, which became the model for the New Orleans Mardi Gras balls of today.
Here yet. How are you feeling? I feel spectacular.
It is my pleasure to introduce to you King Zulu 2018, Brent D. Washington Sr.
Thousands of Haitians shrugged off their daily struggles to celebrate Carnival in Port-au-Prince. Wearing colorful costumes, Haitians danced on the street. Although their floats are no rival to Rio's spectacle, the passion of Haitians for the event is just as lively. Carnival in Haiti goes back to 1804, and not even the country's devastating 2010 earthquake was enough to eliminate celebrations. However, previous carnivals have been marred by political instability, violence, and tragedy.
Carnaval qui qu'on fait plus chorégraphie là. Là maintenant, c'est carnaval là vient fait avec 3 têtes, théâtre, danse, musique et normalement il y a pile création personnage là-dedans. Ouais, ça veut dire que carnaval là tout là. Si vous regardez sous parcours, vous regardez décor de ça veut dire que il y a plus création de fait. Carnaval là année et plus couleur.
Et puis nous campons comme tout champion tout.
Moi beaucoup plus fun, en pile mon enthousiasme, tout le monde content, pas de violence, pour en pile sécurité. Il y a 35 ans pour que je manque carnaval. Que c'est au Cap, que c'est au Caille, que c'est Gonaïve, toujours aller. Ça va pas jamais arriver pour une seule fois manquer carnaval, parce que le pays a une situation vraiment difficile. Il y a année, c'était 2004.
Quand on est la captation de l'initiative dans tout le pays, au Brésil, c'est ça qui est c'est carnaval. Même dans les sans violence, pour ne pas avoir de tête cassée, pas de victime, pas de mourir, pour tout le monde enjoy sans violence.
After Carnival, Haitians will have to wrestle with underdevelopment, with the majority of the population living under the poverty line.
Thousands of revelers dressed in colorful costumes kicked off 3 days of festivities in the port city of Dunkirk on Sunday, celebrating France's oldest and maddest annual carnival. An estimated crowd of 50,000 packed the square facing the town hall for the annual herring throwing tradition. From the balcony of the former Belfry, a World Heritage Site, Mayor Patrice Verriet and his guests threw 500 kilograms worth of herring as revelers chanted and lunged for a piece.
Faut profiter, c'est incroyable ce qu'un peuple comme ça, uni, peut faire et produire d'émotions, d'unité, de joie, de bonheur. C'est le bonheur, quoi.
tout ce monde, se battre pour une frite en fait, c'est incroyable. Il n'y a pas de mots, il faut le vivre, il faut le vivre. En tant que Dunkerquois, c'est une fierté, c'est une fierté.
Though the carnival stretches from January to March with a series of balls and parades, celebrations culminate in Troy Joyous, 3 days of festivities held in the run-up to Ash Wednesday. The earliest recording of the Dunkirk Carnival dates back to 1676, when before departing to Iceland for several months at a time, the town's fishermen feasted and celebrated for 3 days. The festivities include unique games and special shows.
Champion du monde 2018, toute catégorie. Charles Deschamps.
Crazy costume wearing and staying in character is an absolute must for any self-respecting carnival goer. Do sure add this one to your traveling bucket list.
Munich's fruit and vegetable vendors dressed in colorful costumes put on their traditional carnival dance on Shrove Tuesday, as hundreds of onlookers gathered in the Bavarian capital's Viktualien Market Square. According to the city of Munich, Fasching, as carnival is known here, has its origins in the dancing and pageantry which accompanied economical changes as well as changes in the customs and festivities themselves. The tradition of Fasching remains to date. One reveller who gave her name as Yvonne said that after living in Munich for a few years, it was time to come and see the dance which might turn her into a carnival fan after all.
Ja, aber ich kann nicht mit am Bahnhof, sonst wird mich wie mein Tiger immer aussteigen lassen. Morgen sagt am Startfuß bei der letzten Station, so hätten sie raus müssen.
Liebeskummer lohnt sich nicht. Was für nichts. Sie träumte nur von ihm, zum ersten Mal verliebt. Das war so schön. Doch dann zog ihr in eine andere Stadt. Liebeskummer lohnt sich nicht mal darin. Oh no. Liebeskummer lohnt sich nicht mal darin.
Also ich wohne jetzt schon seit ein paar Jahren hier und dann muss man es doch mal mitnehmen. Vielleicht wäre ja doch noch zum Faschingsfreund.
Naja, es ist schon mal mehr los als am Sonntag, muss ich sagen. Und wir können endlich mal die Marktweiber gucken. Noch nie im Leben gesehen, also wird es jetzt langsam mal Zeit.
Ja, als Bügler muss man das schon wieder erleben. Das ist einmal eine Grundvoraussetzung. Wir müssen die anderen auch sagen, dass wir auch Fasching feiern können, gerade die oben da.
Das ist auch der Münchner Fasching. Wir sind als der Halle München sehr stolz.
Dann bleib ich bei dir. Wenn ich dich bekommen kann, schau ich keine andere an.
Another reveller who declined to be named said that as someone from Munich, it was a must to attend the tradition, also to show others up north that Bavarians were too capable of celebrating carnivals. His remarks referred to carnival strongholds such as Cologne, Dusseldorf and Mainz, all several kilometers from Munich. And that's all we have for you on today's edition of Trendz Travel. Do join us again next week, same time, same place. I was your host, Eloise Scoville.